Welcome, my friends, to another episode of Journal Entry. And in this episode, we will be exploring my small yet fun Brickheadz collection. And I'll go through some of the, if you've missed Brickheadz and been completely asleep at the wheel with Lego, then this will be a great video. I'll kind of summarize maybe some of the things that you missed. I'll kind of go over my journey as I've really, this collection is really about just over a year and a half, almost 2 years of collecting. Because I remember originally thinking, I'm like, Brickheadz is just not for me. I'm not big on displaying a lot of Lego. And a lot of, at the time, I think most of them that were released, some of the Star Wars ones were kind of we're talking like Solo movie and just not great stuff. There have been some in Star Wars that have been tempted. There's some good ones that I missed that I'd be like, oh man, like Boba Fett and Darth Vader. There's a few that I'd like to have, and we'll go over that in a minute. But there's a few where they were either gift with purchase or I used them to get enough. I thought they were cute, and it's very seasonal, so it was kind of a sneaky way for me to I was allowed to display some of these sets throughout the house. Normally, I'm not allowed to display outside the house, but when I keep things very seasonal, and for a little while when I started building, or started buying sets again, I was trying to buy some seasonal sets and being like, well, honey, like I can, this is great for our Halloween display, or hey, this one's great for our Easter display, or this one's great for this or that. And I was kind of sneaking them in, and she's like, why do I keep seeing these sets all over the house? Well, Brickheadz was the fun that got me started. And really the set that I first, I think it was the sheep was the first one, I believe, if I remember right. I might be wrong. It was either the sheep or the rabbit that I got. And again, a lot of it was the I don't know, it wasn't May the 4th, but I feel like it was double VIP / gift with purchases that I was trying to get over that $40 or $60 threshold, whatever it was back then, back when, before it was, now it's like $150 to get over any sort of meaningful threshold, which is kind of crazy. Before, they were excited when you purchased $40 or $60. So this one was really cute that I got, and it was a fun one that I displayed a few times. Lots of great white. I do have reviews. At least I think I have reviews on every single one of these in the non-Star Wars review playlist if you want to check that out. Otherwise, you could, if you really want to, go through all of my hauls to see when I purchased these. Or I would say most of them are gift with purchases, so you might have to go pretty far back for these guys. Then this one's very interesting, like Katrina. I can't believe they haven't done like a male version of this as well, or keep doing more of these, because this is just downright amazing in terms of colors and just overall displayability, I think, during Halloween. But the interesting thing on that one was, I remember going into the store, and it was Black Friday of last year, and this one was still on the shelf even though it was retired, and I was like, man, I gotta get this. So I remember purchasing it, and it was the only thing I purchased for Black Friday in the Lego store. I remember the pick-a-brick wall was not great. The gift with purchase threshold was over $40, and there was nothing really great, if I remember right. So I remember I just got this set, and then I immediately went over to Target, and I think I was able to find dots that were kind of expiring for the year, retiring for the year, and got a whole bunch of those. So it was really fun kind of going back on my memory. So this one was just over a year ago on a Black Friday. Really amazing. And then Ahsoka, I think I used one time to get over the threshold. Just an extra $10 add-on. But Ahsoka's one that, from a character, she's really become one of my favorite Jedi. So I would say there are a couple Star Wars Brickheadz that maybe I've missed. I can guarantee you, well, I don't think there's a Darth Maul Brickhead. If there's a Darth Maul Brickhead, I'm definitely in on that. If they were to do some of the other bounty hunters. I know I've missed Boba Fett, like I mentioned. Darth Vader, I probably should get that one. That one's pretty good. There's a Luke Skywalker Darth Vader combo that's pretty solid that I just kind of, again, like when those first came out, I had to be selective with my budget. And these are only $10, but you do try to be selective here and there. And I just kind of missed out on a few of those sets. And then, let's see, yeah, this lamb is, I mean, this one really suckered me in. I think this is probably one of the more intricate, like, builds, and then the colors, it's just straight amazing. You know, as you kind of put them next to each other, I think this one's probably the best build overall. I mean, that is incredible. But then the cute one we just did, and check out that review, the French Bulldog with the puppy. I'm going to be redoing that so that it looks like Remy. It's going to take me a little bit, so stay tuned on that. And then you would be like, why do you have these goldfish? Well, one of the things is that I was starting to kind of get into these brickheads, and then I saw a lot of these trans orange and was like, wow. And there's a lot of clear parts. I saw the black plating, just a lot of great orange colors. And then, of course, this coral piece, these kind of like seaweed type stuff. And I'm just like, this is a nice one. And so I think for on a special occasion, my birthday, I think that was another one that was gifted to me. So there's a theme there. Christmas, birthdays, brickheads, great option. And then for my birthday, this last one, the birthday clown was in effect, and I just built that one. So check out that review again, and feel free to like and subscribe if you're into brickheads, you're into Star Wars, you're into Lego in general. This is the place to be. So let's go over a few maybe that I missed, and then we'll wrap up. So I was curious because I was like, are there any that I missed that I'm just like, I have to have? Because at the time, you know, these were out there, and I was like, oh man, I'd really like that. The only one, and I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit, I should have just got it just because, was the Tusken Raider brickheads that's out right now for Star Wars. I think it's cool. I'd like to get one. It was $6 in the Lego store for Black Friday. I should have just grabbed one. I mean, it just is what it is. I should have grabbed it. And then, so the first brickheads, and this is probably why, if it first came out, again, these are like 2016, I think it was announced, 2017, something like that, was the Batman. So it was a DC start, which is a very, popular property, but definitely not for me. I like Batman, nothing wrong with it. I'm just not a huge fan and not collecting a lot of Batman. So they had Batman, Batgirl, Robin, Joker. Actually, the Joker is probably pretty awesome. I do remember this in store thinking it was pretty cool. I don't know, it looks a little goofy, and maybe that's kind of where it got a bad start. Well, I mean, obviously it was popular enough that it's still going like 5 or 6 years later. There was rumors at one point that they were stopping brickheads, but now I feel like they're raging right back. Because these are popular things that people can just buy. It's a nice, easy build. You can do it in 15, 20 minutes or less in some cases. And then you get to display it. It's kind of a win-win. That extra value that you get when something is both that building experience, you get great parts, you display it, or you could put it into your collection to build other things. How amazing is Lego, really? And Brickheads is an embodiment of that. Then it looked like they went from DC to Marvel, so they had like Captain America, Black Widow, Hulk, all sorts of stuff. Then they went Disney with Belle, Beast, all sorts of stuff. These may not be fully in order. In the list that I have, removed a lot of duplicates and like super exclusive, like, if it was like a Comic-Con exclusive or any of those are kind of removed. And then there was they did a lot of exclusives, so I imagine that the Lego stores were trying to kind of like really keep things exclusive, stuff like that. We had Spider-Man, Venom. Then they went into the movie with Lloyd, Wu, Finn, Captain. No, here we go. We got into Star Wars, this is the sequel properties, which is kind of, maybe that's something that they should really think about. Maybe I'm just missing it. I haven't seen it on the list. Is the prequels? Start thinking of, like one or two Brickheads that they pull out in the prequels. I think they, like, if they did a clone Brickhead, oh my god, that thing would just be fire. Hashtag we want clone Brickheads. Okay. They did Finn. Captain Phasma was pretty good. I remember wanting that, but just never pulled the trigger. So if that was one, but it was a limited exclusive. So I'm sure if I go into it, I'm sure that thing's cooking at like $20, $30, $40. Like, I can guarantee you. To get every single Brickhead would cost you at least $1,600 because there's over almost, I think, at least 160 of them. And I imagine that aftermarket, if you haven't been collecting, these things are starting to like double, triple, quadruple in price. Some of the early ones, who knows? I don't even checked. Could be even much higher. Then it looks like they got more into Marvel. Kylo Ren made an appearance. Boba Fett, Han Solo. Then they started doing these like really cute ones, and they did a B. I remember for Valentine's Day, I almost got this for Valentine's Day. It was pretty cute, but I passed on it. I don't know. It would have been a cute Valentine's Day. Then that's when the bunny came out. So that came out 2018. So that was like over 3 years ago when I got the bunny first. It must have been the sheep the next year. Oh, and then the witch. Remember the witch was kind of ugly and creepy. I remember I considered it, but then Brickheadz was talking about how it was creepy Lego, and he said don't buy it, so I didn't buy it. And then they did turkey for Thanksgiving. They did a Mr. and Mrs. Claus combo. I do remember this. Really cute. And that was a fun one. So those were in the 30s. So they really started pumping these things out. Then back to, gotta do more Marvel. Marvel movies like Thanos and Star-Lord and all these guys. Then that's when like Han Solo and Chewbacca of the Solo movie came out. I mean, the movie was solid, but just, I don't know. It just looks ugly, some of the stuff. Some of the actual sets from the Solo were great, but Brickheadz, I think that's kind of where things started to sour and the Brickheadz. Although it looks like they still pumped them out. Then, this is a really cool combo. If you are into Back to the Future, how cool is that? Marty McFly and Doc Brown. Really cool. Then The Incredibles, Owen and Blue. Then there's a whole round of Harry Potter. Elsa, Anna, a Frozen movie. You got to take advantage of that. Olaf. And this is where they did a Darth Vader, but it was, I don't know, it was interesting. This is one of them. I think it was exclusive when they came out with it. And there was a Stormtrooper. It actually looks pretty good. That would be a good one to get. I wonder how much that one was it. Then I think they had a production issue with the set, so they didn't release it. Then they did some Minecraft. Then they started rocking the Harry Potter again. More Minecraft. Ariel, Ursula, Mickey, was just a whole series of like Mickey Mouse and stuff like that. Groot. Then they did do a whole series. There's 4 in a row of Star Wars. So let's see. Luke and Yoda is kind of from this would be the Dagobah days. Princess Leia, Boba Fett. So those aren't bad. Then they did this would have been really cool. A Jack Skellington and Sally. That was really solid. Here, let me blow it up a little bit. That's pretty interesting. That Sally is really good looking. Just like that. All right. That was pretty good. That's another like really good Halloween one. I wonder how much that one runs. That one's probably going like this too. Then a little bit more Harry Potter, Homer Simpson, Krusty the Clown. That's pretty cool. And that's a combo. Here we go. So it's another. So they kind of did the same build, but just changed the colors a little bit. And then look at Homer. That's pretty funny. That would be a good one. Then it looked like, and if you remember, Ninjago did like a really special anniversary, and then they did a dragon dance guy that I think you could. I'm trying to remember. There was something really controversial with it. Like you had to buy a set in order to get credit on it or something, or to get a deal on it. And it was really goofy. I remember I wanted it, but it wasn't enough to like make me purchase Ninjago. Then they immediately went into, oh, I wonder. No, I don't have that Brickhead. There was a puppy, a chick, and they did a cute ghost. That's pretty cool. I really should have got. I'm surprised I didn't get this ghost. Again, there was things that I skipped. These were targets of opportunity. If I needed an extra $10 to get over a threshold, I'd use it. Oh, there's a scarecrow. Oh man. Look at the pieces in that. That'd be pretty solid to display. Get that ghost and that scarecrow. That'd be the way to go. Then, right after that was the Halloween. These are very seasonal in some cases too, but it's great. Like, these are displayable. Why not? Then we did reindeer, elf, and an elfie. What the hell is an elfie? Yeah. Okay, that's pretty terrible. I mean, it's colorful and all. Then you had the Lego movie, which I wonder. Oh, I think this is the second one because it has Sweet Mayhem in it. Right, Target Red Card exclusive. Only 5,000 of them exist. Holy smokes. I wonder if this is the rarest of them all. It actually looks really good. That's the Mayhem character. I actually have the character in a mini doll. They never made a figure. Made a mini doll out of it. Then the birthday clown was released. They also released Lady Liberty, which is Statue of Liberty. Now, these are really cool. They did a Kylo Sith Trooper combo, and I remember thinking, like, those were really cool. I came this close to getting it, but just didn't do it. Then the Lucky Cat, which I remember I almost, like, some of these I was like, woo, I was pretty tempted, but never got. And then there's a bear for Valentine's Day, so, again, it's that seasonal theme that Lego really did to kind of, these are definitely candy at the register, if you will, for seasonal sets. Then the sheep, Goofy, Pluto, and then the sheep came out in the springtime that year. So that would have been 2020. So yeah, it's only been 3 years. I've had this guy for almost 5 years. So he was my lone brickhead for a long time. Then I got the sheep, then the La Katrina, and then Ahsoka. And then these were gifts periodically, so pretty cool. Then they came out with Gru, Stuart, Otto, all the different minions, a whole bunch of sets. Oh, the Monkey King. That's the one with the promo. Okay, so that's the one I was thinking about where they did this just insane promo, and it's an insane build. That one, I bet you this one is probably some of people's favorites, especially you Ninjago folks. That's pretty cool. I remember wanting that, but I'm trying to remember why I didn't. There was a reason. And then Frankenstein, I remember I was so tempted a couple times. I just never pulled the trigger. The Child and the Mandalorian just got discontinued this last, I think it was about a year. It stayed for a long time. It was rumored to be discontinued, but Mandalorian is such a popular show. It just kept going. And then there's a bunch of pandas, and the German Shepherd. Then the French Bulldogs came out. Well, there were some cats too. Cats, the goldfish, some chicks. Daisy Duck came out randomly. Oh, the Scrooge, and Louie and a bunch that came out. Dalmatians, ginger, kittens, cat. Oh, cockatiel and a chick. That's kind of cool. I mean, these pets make some good sense. They make pretty good solid brickheads. Those are pretty cute. Hamster. Bunch of Harry Potter. Bunch of, oh, here we go. There was a whole series of Ninjago. It was purchase with purchase. General release July 2021. A bunch of them. Golden Lloyd. Katarina. Then Ahsoka came out February 2022. Oh, then the Saint Bernard. So there were a bunch of puppies, and then we had more puppies with the French Bulldog. We've had Stranger Things, Roadrunner stuff, Chippendales. Yeah, Chippendale, Emma, bunch of stuff. More Harry Potter. The koi fish was really solid. I think that was pretty neat. Poodle, more puppies. Puppies seem to be really popular. The Tusken Raider was a random inclusion for Star Wars. Harry Potter back again is really hot for Brickheadz. There's been a bunch out there. And then we're back into the Disney World with Mickey Mouse, Snow White, Tinkerbell, blah, blah, blah. A whole bunch of stuff. Moana. And now it looks like, oh, there's some Minecraft that's come out. And then they did kind of go back to the well in Star Wars and did kind of the Rebel Endor battle people. And then back to Harry Potter, Sonic the Hedgehog, FC Barcelona. There's a ton of stuff out there now. There's some that we missed that are like exclusives that are out there, like Doctor Strange and Black Panther, and there's a Go Brick Me set, which I'm interested. I really should look into to see if I have the parts to kind of do that, where you could build a base and then you can essentially build yourself, which would be pretty cool to do. So this list does not include all. It kind of gives you a good sense, the pop culture, the pets and different animals that they really make really good Brickheadz. And I really love. They really could do more with Star Wars. If like Thrawn was to come out in a Brickhead, I'm like all in. Maybe Balin's skull. I think some of the Jedi, I'd be down to get them as long as they're reasonably priced. So that is my collection. That's everything that I know about Brickheadz. They've been pretty popular. I think it has to be a nice little money machine, especially since these seasonal sets are hard to avoid and they're great to display. So that is my collection. Thank you so much for joining me on my journey. And I want to hear about, what do you think about Brickheadz down below? Again, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that button. Again, I really love... I'll be very targeted with my Brickheadz collecting. Depending, there might be some Star Wars. There's very few of them that are on the list that I'm gonna really want to go back at any given time and purchase. Maybe a couple. There's a few Star Wars ones, maybe a few that may resonate, but I'm really happy with my collection. So join me on my Brickheadz collecting journey. And so on the next episode of Journal Entry. Bye for now.